it really connected with people. I think it connected with us while we were working on it and made us feel like, Maine is our community and we're all in this together. So I think it was the sort of the right time for a book like this.
Don, do you think that first book achieved what you wanted it to do, which is to give a broad cross-section of what kind of foods Mainers ate over a period of many decades?
Oh, absolutely. The first book represents like all different parts of the state, all different types of communities within the state, from the oldest families to the newest arrivals to all different types of cuisines from around the world that have had people settle here. And there were also recipes that were looking backwards at tradition through things from within their families, as well as recipes that were pretty forward looking, a couple of them almost avant-garde. So there was a lot of range, and I don't think it could have been a better broad scope representation of what Maine has to offer.
Carl, the first book was so successful, you've decided to do another one. What is the approach that you're going to take with volume 2?
Well, when we were putting together the first book, the bicentennial edition, we did our best to get the word out about it. But we heard once it was available and people were buying it, we heard from a lot of people that they didn't know we were putting it together, and they wish they had a family recipe that they wish they could have submitted. And we just really felt like there's an endless supply of just terrific family stories and family recipes that we could continue to tap into. And so we said, let's do another volume.
Margaret, what have you seen in the way of interesting stories and recipes that have really stood out in this second batch?
Well, we've gotten a few pies that were a little bit unusual. An onion pie was not what I was expecting, but it looks delicious.
And it's Grandpa Gene.
Yeah, it's Grandpa Gene. It's a Grandpa Gene's onion pie.
Yeah,
so it's a savory pie, but it's exciting. Also trash can turkey, which is a classic.
I guess a classic. I don't know. But cooking a turkey in a trash can. So
Yeah. And we've gotten, as we sort of expected, given the volume of molasses cookie recipes we got for the last one, we've started getting some molasses cookies and hermits, which are both wonderful recipes to get. Yeah. So
and in the same way that with the first book, we didn't really know what to expect. We were just expecting recipes, and we'd get stories, and people sent us scans of recipe cards and handwritten things that their grandmother wrote. And we've gotten some more of those things as well. And a poem that someone's grandmother left them inside a cookbook, and some really interesting kind of ephemera, things like that we're going to try to include.
And Don, the stories are really just as important as the recipes, maybe even more so, because, when you hear about trash can turkey, whatever that is, there's got to be a story behind it, right? And it's the same with all of these dishes.
Absolutely. And it gives us a window into yet another thing happening, or that has happened here in Maine. One of the ones I'm hoping that we'll have enough information to talk about is Maine's involvement in the origin story of the brownie, which I think is something that's not very well known. And it's looking very good for there being a seriously interesting story. And the story was revealed solely because of the community cookbooks and the recipes people submit to them.
We should also mention that the first volume raised about $15,000 to help various good food-related causes in Maine. And once again, there's a charitable component with the sequel. You're trying to raise money to help folks out, aren't you?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. So $2 from each book from the first volume went to organizations fighting hunger in Maine. And we distributed more than $15,000. And we'll continue that with the second book as well. And $2 from each book will go to these organizations.